My name is Warning Star Moses Weed. I'm 93 years old, and I was born here, and I know my language fluently. I talk my own language and talk to children about what's the best way to grow up and go to school and get their education, and that's what's going to take care of them, take care of the children when they get their education. That's why we teach them. That's why they're all in school. And then we teach them how to respect too at home. We have a lot of respect that we tell our kids. We talk to them, tell them what's right, and respect the old people. When I used to be around the old people, I was very careful with the old people. I wouldn't walk behind them until I told them, well, Grandpa, I'm going to walk behind you. He'll say, all right, go ahead. And then I'll tell him, Grandpa, I'm going to walk in front of you. Is it all right? Yeah, go ahead. Only time I walk and across the road or back them, I always ask them like that. And that's what they taught me. And they teach other children the same way. And that's what we teach them at home, their language. But nowadays it's kind of hard to teach them your own language because we don't all group together like we used to when we was tribes roaming the earth. We kept together, and that way we talk with our children, our own language. But later on, when white people came and put us in schools, and that way we learn how to mingle with one another, other tribes and the white people. We do that now. That's why our language is kind of fading out. Our children are getting married to foreigners and other tribes, and they don't speak that same language. They speak different languages, and that way they can't speak their own language. Now, that's the way it seems to me. It seems that way because if you marry into another tribe, their language is different. So you got to speak English. And then it's slowly fading out like that. Since we all start getting educated, people's going to school, and then we're teaching our children how to go to school and be taught, and then they get graduated, and then when they get graduated, well, they're preparing they're preparing for colleges for their trade. And then when they get through with that, well, they're ready to take care of themselves, to get jobs. To get jobs, that's what they're being sent to school for now. That's why we're all going that way now. All of us. We have to send our children to school for them to learn how to take care of themselves when they grow up and get married. Then they get their jobs and they help us too. They help their own tribes. When they go to school, they come back and help their tribes in different organizations. And that's what the schooling is all about now. So that's what I learned. Long time ago, you know, we started out in boarding schools. And they send us to boarding schools and they try to take our language away, you know, because they want us to be white people. They take our language and our ceremonies. They started out like that, taking all those things away from us because they didn't want us to have that anymore. That's where they was teaching us, and that's where they was moving ahead under John Collier. John Collier, he was Secretary of the Interior, I guess, and that was his work schedule, to educate all Indians and then to learn us the white ways and all that. And then when they had a policy, this government, that when they taught us all those things, and then they was going to abrogate our treaties and make us turn into white people like them. That's what was their plans, the government at first. And then later on, the president, he says, I don't like that word termination, he says. It hurts the Indians and hurts him too, I guess. That's what he was saying. So I'll make it self-determination, so they could gradually do things for themselves and go on like that. They're using the self-determination. That's what they're doing now. They're letting us do that with all these government programs too. They doing that same thing. They're gradually getting themselves moved out slowly like that. They're slowly leaving it up to us, and then they tell us take this 638 grant and take them jobs over in these government positions like that. And that's where we're at right today. We're in that position. And a long time ago, you know, there was no buses or nothing. That's why they started the boarding schools. And then they gradually got buses. They started busing us. Then we went into going back to school in buses. And then that's where we're at now. They're done doing away with our boarding schools. They're getting away from that. They're gradually doing that to us. And I had the dream last night that is all changed from the way we used to when we first used to be amongst ourselves. We didn't mix up with other tribes. We kept in groups and kept our language like that, our own language, but it ain't that way anymore. And I've seen those days where there was no buses, no cars. All we had was teams and wagons. We'd go different places. Like if we go to Lander, we hitch up the team and get on the wagon. We go to Lander. And then they had barns over there along them streets over there, and then we go over there and we park our wagons. Then we get barns for horses there and go shopping. And then when we get through shopping, we stay there too, you know. When we get through shopping, then we put our stuff on the wagons. And then we head back home on wagons. There was no cars, but now all that is gone. You see nothing but cars, fancy ones now. Boy, we just get in them and start them up and get over there a little while now. That's the way we are now. So it used to be slow, you know, like that. People used to walk mostly. You see them walking along these roads. I used to see them like that a long time ago. I've seen a lot of those. A lot of the ones I went to school was all gone too. Even council members. And I'm just left behind, you know, doing my homework at home. Doing all my homework and finishing up, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I was lucky, you know. I've been to war too, you know. But they had a lot of them ammunition that got soldiers, you know. Them shells got all them soldiers, but that was their bullets to get us, you know. And but me, they didn't hit me. See, they didn't hit me. That's the reason I'm here talking. they didn't. Them bullets never hit me, you know. They just went around me, you know. They didn't hit me anywhere, but those they hit, you know, is gone, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them on wheelchairs too. I was down in Fitzsimmons. I seen a lot of those soldiers in wheelchairs, you know. Some of them had no legs, no arms. Gee, I look at them. Gee, I must have been lucky, I said. Got all one piece.
Yeah. Good.
Now I'm over here helping you guys with this, you know,
Yeah.
talking, you know, because none of them bullets, they just went around me. Just bragging now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. What else?
What advice would you give to our younger generation to help them? This is a project for the Wind River Tribal College.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
doing this for.
Yeah.
And, but what would you give to the younger generation? What advice would you give to them to be proud of who they are?
Well,
And
One thing, I always say respect.
Mm-hmm.
I say respect when you go to school. Respect your bus drivers. Respect your cooks that cook food for you. Respect your teachers that teach you something in school. And respect your parents when you're at home. Respect them when you're small. You see mama washing dishes, get up and help her. Help that mama because she raised you when you was small and took good care of you and raised you. And same way with the father, the boys. Get out and help dad, You see him working. Go help him. Tell him, what can I do, Dad? Anything you want me to do? Like that. And then if you see him needing help, help him. Help him. Like that. Respect your folks. And respect people around you, too. Like that. Respect one another. And you're going to have a good school, too, I tell them.
Mm-hmm.
That school's going to have a good name, too.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell the kids,
Yeah.
Now what else?